I'm not in any way an expert in cricket. I think that might actually be a good thing. Because I think the message you're hearing today, and I'll get into some of the issues on investment climate, but some of the points that are being made is we have to be way outside the box. We have to have a completely different paradigm shift in order to get a result. We have to have actions which are well structured and implemented and can lead to good future progress. So what I want to do today is just talk quickly about two things. First is the investment climate, and the second is investment opportunities. You know, outside of the box, I work as a senior risk management officer in the Africa region. So you might ask, well, why is someone from the Africa region here today in the Caribbean? And the reason is, inside the World Bank, one of the things we are doing is being very, very progressive in the Africa region. And in that respect, a lot of the new ideas are being tried in the region. So we're trying to think about, you know, what can be different. Okay, in the first slide, I'm not sure how you can see that, but I think that slide says some of the good news. Antigua and Barbuda are currently ranked 63 out of 185 countries in the Doing Business 2013, which means it's in the top third. Okay, this is well above the regional average of 97 for Latin America and Caribbean, and ahead of most other countries in the region. Chile leads at 37. There are a few other countries above. You have Peru, Colombia, Mexico, and St. Lucia. Next slide. This slide also, I think, has some good news. On the y-axis, we're trying to show the strength of legal institutions. These are the average rankings of getting credit, protecting investors, enforcing contracts, resolving insolvency, etc. And on the x-axis, we're looking at the complexity and cost of regulatory processes. Here we measure starting businesses, dealing with permits, construction permits, electricity, registering property, paying taxes, and trading across frontiers or borders. So if you're a country, you want to be in the top right corner. Okay? And if you go back to the slide, that's where you find Antigua and Barbuda. Now, the size of the dot is the size of the population. So don't feel bad about that. You have what you have. And you can see the large dot, Mexico, Colombia, etc. But the point is, it's not the size of the dot that matters. It's the quadrant you find yourself in. And Antigua and Barbuda, they're in the right one. Next slide. Okay, so now we're starting to drill down as to what are the opportunity areas or the opportunities on investment climate to improve on. Antigua and Barbuda ranks higher than the Latin American Caribbean average in 6 of 10 areas, but there's still room for improvement. The areas that need to improve are the ones which dip below the regional average. First is registering property. The second is getting credit. Third, paying taxes. And fourth, trading across borders. Next slide. Okay. So when we went out in our surveys and asked top decision makers in business, owners, managers, etc., in 151 firms in Antigua and Barbuda, we asked them, given the 15 most common obstacles to business, which are the ones affecting you, in your view? The number one, of course, was taxes. Okay, tax rates. That was 18.2%. Second, customs and trade regulations. Third, access to finance, electricity. But if you correlate the previous slide to the electricity, you see that that doesn't seem to be as big a problem. Okay, so I think what we need to do in moving forward, you need to, instead of focusing on everything, you focus on just a number, a small number of items. Next slide, please. I just wanted to give you some ideas on what we're doing in Africa, just on what we're doing. The bank is taking a very different approach on investments. Investment climate improvement will only take you so far. That's the view in the Africa region. Investments are very important. These are private investments, public-private investments, etc. As we've heard already this morning, there's only so much space on the public investment side. So we feel strongly at the World Bank that it's the public-private space as well as the private investments, which, if fostered well, could lead to good projects. We've worked on a number of projects across Africa. We've just put a few here in agribusiness, for example, Rwanda, Tanzania, Burkina Faso. We have a new project in DRC, in Senegal, etc. Infrastructure, especially power generation. If you look at the World Bank Group, this is the one area where the Bank Group actually does, I think, some very good work, is electricity generation, transport, ports, etc. But it's the same approach that we seem to be taking. What we're hearing from the private sector, from academia, NGOs, governments, etc., multilaterals, what we're hearing is, where are the deals, where are the transactions? So governments are asking for our assistance to bring those transactions forward. So we are, in a very targeted way, identifying investors. It's a brand new way. You know, if you ask, how do you get foreign direct investment in beyond just the domestic area, you have to start identifying who are those investors who may be interested. And you have to develop the investment proposition. And that's what we're doing. It's very targeted work. But at the same time, what we're hearing from those investors is they won't come unless some of the investment climate issues themselves are dealt with. And I think that's one of the challenges we have today in front of us in terms of the thematic groups, is to identify, what constraints exist, what obstacles, etc. Thank you.